And then she launched herself onto the side of the mountain and slid right into that hole, and then she was gone. Like, it was a deep hole.
I was a king
Oh,
in middle school.
The king of middle school.
really?
No doubt, I'm sure. I was scared to death, Jenna.
If many I get us trouble, my job as a friend makes sure my friends stay out of trouble. So I did that in middle school. I did that in high school.
I was gonna say, if Manny Ahi got in trouble, you're probably the one that got him there.
Welcome to Bakers Bantering. We got Jenna, Nicole Baker, Valerie and Baker. We got Jake over there. By the way, at the end of this podcast, Jake and I are gonna have a conversation.
You leave Jake out of this.
Jake doesn't even have a mic. He doesn't want one.
Jake did not agree to this. Stop ambushing him.
What are we talking about today, guys?
Well, one thing we gotta talk about the Super Bowl
Coming up.
I do have a Chiefs hat on.
So excited for the Super Bowl.
I do have a Chiefs hat on for those of you that can't see, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. I've gotten 3 compliments on my Chiefs hat today, and I've seen about 6 people.
Well, go Chiefs.
That's a good batting average.
It is. It's a cute hat.
Thank you. They did send it to me. I do have to say thank you to them for that.
Pretty good hat.
Super excited. Three-peat, baby. Three-peat.
I am so excited for the Super Bowl. I mean, we do have both on my favorite teams.
Yep, that's true.
That's true.
You win regardless.
Whatever happens, it happens.
And you're excited.
I don't care if it's Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care if it's Philadelphia Eagles.
I do like the Eagles, but I do care.
I agree. I like the Eagles.
But whoever wins that match, that game, at the Super Bowl, let the best man win.
Yeah.
Did you know? Okay, I might butcher this, but did you know that the Chiefs would not be the first team to win 3 championships? They would only be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls.
You mean in a row?
No, I mean, yes, in a row. In a row. Because apparently the Green Bay Packers won 3, I don't know what it was called before the Super Bowl, but prior to the Super Bowl existing, the Green Bay Packers won 3 years in a row.
And the first Super Bowl was, I believe, in 1967.
Yes, when you were turning 1.
Because it is the 59th Super Bowl this year, and someone just turned 59.
Yes, I always know what Super Bowl it is because it's the same age as Mom.
Yeah. And I always thought that I turned 29 on the 29th of January, the year of the 29th Super Bowl, and somebody should have sent me to the Super Bowl, but that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, well,
but I agree with you. I mean, there are teams in the NFL that I don't like. The Eagles is not one of those teams. So
no, I do like
I'm
the Eagles.
certainly rooting for the Chiefs. But it would be worse if they lost to the Rams.
There's that.
So,
well, that would never happen.
And I'm not saying they're going to lose. I think they're going to win. But
yes,
it would. There are teams that I would hate to see win, and any Super Bowl, regardless of the opponent. And that is not how I feel about the Eagles.
No.
Well, whatever happens between Kansas City Chiefs or Philadelphia Eagles, let the best man win. You're just hear it first, Jared. Whatever happens, you're still our friend, but go Chiefs.
Right. But go Chiefs. Definitely that. I do have to say, shout out to my buddy Tanner. I am really enjoying how much he is hating that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl in his where he lives in New Orleans. He lives down there.
Well, Tanner didn't listen to this, get over it.
Yeah, get over it, Tanner.
I guess there's been
Drew McIntyre.
I guess there's been a tuberculosis outbreak in Kansas City. Did you hear about this?
No.
Well, he texted our group chat and he's like, somebody tell those stupid Kansas City Chiefs fans to keep that TB in Kansas City. And I'm like, TB? And he's like, there's a tuberculosis outbreak. And I looked it up and I got conflicting reports from one place was like, it's not true. And the other, but I did actually see multiple sources that said it was true. And it's funny because his name is Tanner Bryant. And Stuart responds and he's like, somebody keep Tanner Bryant under control.
Who is
So-
Stuart rooting for?
Oh, I am the lone
You're
Chiefs
the lone
fan
Chiefs fan in the group. I got it.
The group chat with Chris and two of his groomsmen. Yes, I am the lone Chiefs fan. And I'm okay with that. I'm not
That's
afraid
all
of them.
That's all right.
I'll take it. But I am very excited. I have fun Super Bowl Sunday plans. We're going to go get homemade fresh pizza dough from this pizza place that we found that we really like that's in the hill, and we're going to take it to Stuart and Joy's house, and they have an uni, and we're going to all make our pizzas, and I'm going to watch it with 3 people who don't want the Chiefs to win,
There you go.
and I don't care.
That'll be fun.
Well,
What's
at
your
least-
Super Bowl plans?
Liz, you don't care what your friends think.
No, I
No.
don't care what my friends think. I don't care what my friends think. I don't care what my fiance thinks. I am cheering for the Chiefs.
Well, go Chiefs one way and then another.
I think it's just going to be me and Derek and Dad at home. I think I'm going to get that chili cheese dip that I didn't get a
You've
couple
been
I
talking about making it for
think-
weeks.
because
I
I've been
think-
wanting it.
I think we should do Valerie, Eric, Derek, Katie, and Ryan.
Well, Katie and Ryan might want to come over. I don't know. I thought she said she had plans. And Dana might come over too. You never know if she's not working.
Well, if Aunt Dana does come over, we will have the damning amount of good food.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we had a big party last weekend.
We did. We've had 2 parties in a row, 2 weeks in a row. My bachelorette party,
Well, yeah.
a Royal Rumble party.
But before we continued, you wanted to talk about parties? We did have the great Royal Rumble party. Before we get to that, how about let's talk about your bachelorette party first?
Okay, sure. We had a great weekend. We were in upstate New York, where our Uncle Dana lives. If you listen to the podcast, all of our
Shout out to
podcasts,
him.
you heard our Uncle Dana on this podcast not too long ago, and him and our Aunt Tina so graciously opened their home for all of us to join them, and we had so much fun. And I have always said my friends all make me go somewhere warm for bachelorette parties. And I'm going to make my friends go somewhere cold because I love a good cold vacation. So we went upstate New York. We went skiing. Katie and I went skiing with Uncle Dana and Joe. And then we also went snow tubing. Derek.
I know.
Derek. We got to get you up there for some snow tubing.
Best snow tubing we've ever had that we've ever done.
I mostly agree to that. I think that snow tubing is lots of fun. I saw that on Snapchat.
It
Yeah.
was so fun,
When
Derek.
you post, I saw everything. I saw you guys in the hot tub. I saw some snow tubing action. Looks a lot of fun. You gotta take me. You
Yeah.
gotta take me. I gotta do it.
I do think Mom was a bit nervous with Katie and I skiing so close to the wedding date.
I think your dad was a little more nervous than I was.
Well,
He kept saying, "Oh my
speaking of
God, tell
that-
those girls to be careful. Tell those girls to
we
be
were
careful."
careful. We were careful.
Speaking of
and
that, I did saw Katie almost fell on
Oh no, Katie did fall for sure. We all
She fell in a hole. I think she purposely fell in a hole.
It's no.
what
she
a
didn't-
dummy.
She did not purposely fall in the hole. She purposely fell before the hole because she knew she was headed into the pole or into
Hole.
the hole.
Face
And
plant
into
in
the
the
woods.
hole.
Yeah.
And she knew
Get Baker in the hole.
that she needed to launch herself onto the mountain and slide into the hole rather than be on her skis when she hit the hole,
Yeah.
which was the correct call.
Yeah.
But I was right behind her when that happened, and I could see the hole. And I mean, at that point we had skied the mountain 4 or 5 times, so I knew the hole was there, and I had been avoiding it all day. And then I see her headed way too fast to the hole, and I'm like, oh God, Katie fall. But of course she can't hear me, so I'm not like actually screaming. Just in my head, I'm like, oh, please fall, 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 fall. And then she launched herself onto the side of the mountain and slid right into that hole. And then she was gone. Like, it was a deep hole. Like, it was easily like a 2-foot hole.
You can see me.
So she slid into this hole, and next thing you know, all you can see is the top of her skis. And I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And thankfully, she fell prior to the hole and then just kind of slid into the hole. I actually did fall more than Katie, which I'm not proud of, because generally, I historically speaking, I have been better at skiing than Katie.
At it, but Katie is not a pro.
Okay, I wouldn't call myself a pro. But I did actually fall more than Katie. But one time, I actually slid down the mountain on my butt.
Is it one?
No, I fell 3 times. Katie fell twice, but Katie's falls were much more dramatic,
more spectacular.
Oh, both times.
Trust me, last time I saw Katie ski, she was on her tummy, like the skis 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and then snow tubing was fun. And then should I tell him the story? I mean, we called him, but I'm gonna tell the story anyways.
Yeah.
So Saturday night, we go out to dinner. And we go into this restaurant. It was called Wheatfields. It was, we walk in and we see this other large table, and of all women, and it appears to also be some sort of bachelorette bridal party situation. And I didn't say anything. Well, don't say it yet. Don't kill my punchline.
Yeah, so I actually engaged first because I walked to the wrong side of our long table and then had to walk around. And when I had to walk around, I had to walk right in front of this huge table. And there was one young lady there who appeared to be a bride. She had a veil in her hair. And I just looked at her and said, hey, congratulations. And then I walked over to the table and sat down.
Well, then Mom and I, our backs were to this group of girls. So we couldn't tell. But one of my friends and Katie, I guess, kind of noticed that they kept looking at us. And I didn't know that. But one of my friends was kind of like, why do they keep looking at us? Like, what is going on? And then
it's kind of like a stalker stalking innate on Snapchat.
Well, it wasn't nearly as dangerous as a stalking situation.
However,
so then we're sitting there, and here
was
comes
it a boy, Enix?
And here comes the bride, and I believe one of her friends was with her, and she taps me on the shoulder, and she says, congratulations. And I say, oh, congratulations to you too. And she said, I just have to ask, are you the Baker family? And
I know exactly you were talking about.
Sure enough, her name was Angela.
She was very sweet.
She was lovely, and
that's the reason you called me.
Yeah.
Well, so she told us that she was a Baker Banter follower, and of course we were so excited. And then
I was freaking out after that call to meet.
Well, the funniest thing was, so I tell her, I'm like, we talk for a couple minutes, and then I'm like, let me call Derek. So I call Derek. Of course, Derek doesn't answer. So I call Dad. Dad does answer. I'm like, let me talk to Derek. And I go over at this point. At this point, they had gone back to their table because you guys didn't answer, but Dad called me back. So when Dad called me back, I walked over to their table and sat down with them. And I'm like, let me talk to Derek. And so I didn't show Derek on the phone that there was 2 people. He could only see my face. And I'm like, I'm here.
During that FaceTime call, all I saw is your face, but not
Angela's.
Angela's face.
Right. So I'm like, Derek, I'm in New York, and we go out to dinner, and we see another bridal party. And he's like, oh my gosh, another bride. And I'm like, yeah, and look, here she is. And I show her Angela, and then I say, and Derek, get this. And he's like, what? And I say, she follows Baker Banter. And do you remember what you said?
I freak out right after.
Do you remember what you said?
I do know exactly what I said. I freak out.
You did.
When
you gasped, and then you said,
I did gasp.
No shit.
I did say that.
I know.
I was freaking out about to see Angela on FaceTime. Just like I freak out when Timmy is trying to cash in her money in the bank. On top of that, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, all of it.
Royal Rumble was insane.
We had so much fun at our Royal Rumble party, didn't we?
That's exactly how I feel when I saw Angela.
I love it.
Okay, well, let's transition. Royal Rumble party. Let's talk about
So
it.
much fun.
Well, go ahead.
We had so many snacks. Jenna's like, "Are you like preparing food for 50 people?" I'm like, "Well, I might have got carried away."
Oh my God. You would have thought we seriously had 50 to 100 people here. There was so much food.
Well,
and there was about less than 10.
no.
There was 9, maybe 12 max.
Katie and Ryan and 4 of her girlfriends. That's 6 right there. Megan and Andrew and Dana. That's 9. The 3 of us. That's 12.
Okay.
Dina 13. There was 13.
Okay, well.
Not 50, but not under 10 either. But yeah, I made all the dips. Bought all the dips except my chili cheese dip. I'm still having a hankering for that. So we had the little weenies and the barbecue sauce, and we bought pizza.
I gotta tell you, Derek, it wasn't. We didn't get to see Jey Uso in person. We didn't get to eat with all the wrestling fans, but editing the Royal Rumble content was a lot easier when you were just sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier than all this stuff when we're in person.
That was super cool that Jey Uso won. That final 3. What are you going to do? Logan Paul, John Cena,
Logan Paul, John Cena,
Jey Uso.
We were going to be excited no matter what. But
Yeah.
it was Jey. It was Jey all the way.
Who did Charlotte get out last? I don't recall. Charlotte Flair won the women's, but who was the second to last person? None of us remember.
It wasn't nearly as memorable as the men's.
Yeah, the men's was. I mean, the women's was good, but I think Liv got kicked out, and then
Once Liv was out, I didn't care as much anymore.
We didn't. Yeah,
It was Nikki. Nikki was still there.
Nikki Bella was towards the end.
Nikki Bella was the 30th entrant. That was pretty exciting. But there was 3 of them right at the very end.
I was rooting for Liv
Yeah, I know.
to win, and sadly she
Sadly, she did not.
She did not. But last night on Raw, I did say this. During the Rumble, there's still a chance for Liv at that
Elimination Chamber.
is happening. So last night on Raw, thanks for Rhea Ripley punching Liv in the face, causing Io Sky the match. Liv Morgan is going to Elimination Chamber.
Well, I'm happy for you. So what did you think of your Royal Rumble party? Was it a good compromise since we weren't able to be there?
Honestly, I was really bummed and really happy.
Mm-hmm.
You were really bummed, but really happy.
But I think this year did win well. But the one match I was disappointed. That was a 2 out of 3 falls. Between the DIY Murder Machine Machine Guns by the interference by the Street Profits. But the other matches I was happy about.
Okay.
Like the Women's Royal Rumble. I was very impressed of Liv Morgan and her Royal Rumble record.
Mm-hmm.
Same feat with Roxanne Perez.
That's it. That's who it was.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
She lasted right
It
to the
was
end.
it was Nikki, Roxanne Perez, and Charlotte Flair.
It was Charlotte Flair, Roxanne Perez, Nikki Bella in the final 3, and I don't know who tossed out Nikki.
Nikki was never gonna win it. If she won it, that means she'd have to come back for the next 3 months, and I don't think she's doing that.
Well, according to her, the Battle Army, she's back. She got her Battle Army, and looks like she's not going anywhere.
I just don't buy it. I don't buy it.
We'll see.
She's
Well,
not
she just
going
like
anywhere.
had such a bad injury. Like she's not supposed to be wrestling that much. That's why I think when she comes back for the Royal Rumble and she wrestles for 5 minutes, she can do that. But wrestling for a whole match or wrestling, like, I don't know if she's really allowed to do
she
that.
break her neck or something
She
like that?
broke her neck. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's a
she
big
it was
deal.
a
Did
big
break her
injury.
neck, but she's feeling better, and now she's able to wrestle again.
All right,
Okay.
we'll see.
All right. Well, anyway, the party was a lot of fun. You had a lot of people here who loved you.
Yep.
I'll tell you what.
And
The
the men's rumble was a lot of very shade.
the people really liked our Royal Rumble party on the internet.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
I saw the entrance of freaking Joe Hendry.
Oh, that was crazy. I remember that. I could have never put a face to the name before.
I believe in Joe
Hendry.
Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. London, Tokyo, Mexico.
Okay. All right.
Well, anyway, it was a lot of fun. I think everybody here had a good time.
We'll definitely be
It
having
was
another
crazy.
Royal Rumble party next year, considering they'll be in Saudi Arabia, and
oh,
we will not.
yeah, no, we won't be in Saudi Arabia, I'm sure. Is the Royal Rumble there next year?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. I don't know what the next Rumble is going to be at, but we'll see what's going to happen. And plus, I am going to make a pronouncement next week
Mm-hmm.
on Raw if Mom and I decide to go.
Oh, good luck with that. Good luck, Mom.
Yeah, thanks.
It's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
So pack your bags, Mom. We're going to Nashville for the night.
Okay.
Good luck.
Only one night.
Okay.
Can I tell you a funny story, and then I want to get to the topic of the day?
Yep, sounds good to me.
So
What you got, Jen?
yeah,
So
it was fun. It was very fun.
So I went to see one of my good friends today, and she has 2 little boys, right?
I saw it on Snapchat.
Okay.
They were cute.
So let me
Hulk smash.
Yes. So the older of the 2 boys is very into this Hulk smash thing, and he walks around like he's all big, and then he smashes anything. He does like to fling himself into the couch and calls that a Hulk smash. While the younger of the 2 boys is about 6-7 months old, and I'll tell you what, he's going to be bigger than his older brother very quickly. But currently he is barely crawling and certainly not like sitting and walking and all that kind of stuff yet. But the older brother really likes this Hulk smash thing, and she had the younger boy in her little sling. He was sleeping, and then when he woke up, she put him down and let him be on his belly, and here comes the older brother, and he gets about an inch from Hulk smashing his brother. And she she caught him
Easy.
right before he tried to sit on his brother. And I was like, oh man, you got to give him this. This is the only time in his whole life he's going to be bigger than this other kid. She's like, no, we do not Hulk smash our brother. And I
No.
was like, that's valid,
Hulk
and I
smash
understand
me.
that. But I think I'm still right that this is the only time he's going to be bigger than this other little boy, because his brother's about to surpass him like before he's 1.
Wow.
So, I just thought that was really funny. Little kids, they're cute,
Well,
right?
they were adorable, for sure.
So
what are their names, by the way?
we can talk about that later. But
Okay.
so I did want to talk about some Down syndrome today. What do you think?
Well, hopefully you can make that quick, so let's do it.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I was thinking today we should talk about Derek Baker and middle school.
So this is middle school.
We've talked a lot about you when you were little. We've talked a good amount about elementary school and getting started in the school program. So today I thought we would transition to middle school.
I was a king
Oh,
in middle school.
The king of middle school.
really?
No doubt, I'm sure.
Like, middle school is, they were defined. I did went to my very first talent show with all the kids.
Yeah. Did you compete in the talent show?
No, I was in the crowd and so those talented people, and they were super duper talent.
Well, I think that you were really blessed at the elementary school level, and you, by the time Derek was transitioning, you had definitely like gotten very comfortable at the elementary school. So I'm wondering if you can kind of share what that transition looked like. Was it difficult to start working with a new administration? Were they accepting? Like, what do you remember?
I was scared to death, Jenna. He was going to the middle school. We
We're all
had
grown up.
he's a baby. I mean, we had such a positive experience in the elementary school.
Maybe I am a you know a young kid.
Well, okay, that's not true, but
Well, so it was scary. It was scary because, you're going from a very different type of schooling experience, right? So in the elementary school, you have a homeroom teacher and you're pretty much in your homeroom, all the time, right? You might do a
Yep.
little swapping of teachers or that kind of thing. Maybe, we had, a couple of science teachers that
That's
taught
the
all the
reason
students.
I met Miss B
Yep.
and Miss Buckfar, and those two are super nice.
Oh, they were. Those are your paraprofessionals. And actually, Miss B was with you in 5th grade, and
Yep.
she transitioned up to the middle school with you. That was huge.
yeah.
Of course, I've said this before, the fact that you had already been through the program there and I had some relationships with some teachers and administration was huge as well. But it was still scary. I mean, it's, you're going from a very different situation, from an elementary to a middle school, at least we were, where you have 7 or 8 classes and you transition from class to class and that sort of thing. I think one of the big positives for Derek during the transition, there actually was a class called So This Is Middle School.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming that's something our school district still does.
Oh yeah,
And the summer.
I was going to say that was a summer school
yeah.
class.
I remember something.
Yeah.
What do you
what's that?
remember?
I remember. I met many ahi.
Yes, you did.
I met many ahi in middle school, and he and I hit it off big.
Yep.
We were besties for life.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah. So so
Me
this
and Manny are.
That was your first time going to school with somebody who also had Down syndrome.
Yeah,
that was your age.
That was the same grade as you, yeah.
same grade, same age, but Manny was very unexpected. Like Katie Baker to meet Riley Schraub in softball.
Yeah. You guys became fast friends.
Manny and I are first like Katie and Riley, but Manny and I were besties. We're friends. That's the first time I saw Manny and we really hit it off. We get along. We never fight,
That's awesome.
but I helped Manny Ahi in to middle school, make sure he won't get in trouble or something like that, because I was there for him.
I love that.
And I've been to his house. He's got a great mom, great dad, and let's not forget great brother.
Yep.
His family was amazing, but if many I get into trouble, my job as a friend makes sure my friends stay out of trouble. So I did
was
that
gonna say.
in middle school. I did that in high school.
I was going to say, if Manny Ahi got in trouble, you're probably the one that got him there.
That is not true.
Oh, I don't know.
Derek didn't get into trouble.
I'm just kidding.
Not really.
But if Manny was getting into trouble, so was Derek.
Probably.
Probably.
But yeah, so the transition was difficult for me, probably more so for me than it was for Derek or, of course your dad. But we had a class called So This Is Middle School during the summer. And most of the kids that were moving up from 5th grade to 6th grade went through the class. You went through the class. Katie went through the class. And it was really just to get you accustomed to, the different areas in the school and how to, where's the, music classes, where's the gymnasium, where's the this, where's the that. And I think
and
that
to kind
was
of
a
set
huge
the
help.
expectations of middle school too.
Right. We had a fabulous case manager.
Was he on Six Silver?
He was on 6 Silver.
The best.
The teachers were phenomenal. And Molly Klein was his case manager. She was amazing. And one of the biggest concerns, or one of the big things, I guess, that happens in 6th grade, at least in our school district, is you guys have 6th grade camp.
Yeah.
And he was going to go away for camp for the first time. Well, I was really losing my what on that. But fortunately,
my God, that was the best time in my life.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Who else was at camp?
It was amazing. There's a lot of my friends during the camp. And guess what?
What?
I ride a horse.
I rode a horse.
I rode a horse at camp. It was amazing. First time. Like, I was nervous. I was a little bit scared. But, end of the day, I can be on that horse, be safe. And I captured something. I ride a horse like a professional horse rider.
Oh,
Who else was at camp?
Well,
do you remember that your sister was at camp?
Me?
Well, I do remember.
He's like, no, she wasn't there. Definitely not
She
her.
was there.
I do remember Nick Magic was there.
Yeah.
Carly Magic as well.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that made
And speaking of that, I do have this experience for friends and something like that. And like the Magic, you did went to camp. I do remember Jenna and Nicole Baker went to the camp. That was cool. That's actually
Was I a camper?
could be the camper.
Oh my goodness.
no. So your sister went as a camp counselor, and that did
Like
give
camp
me
counselor.
There you go.
did
Camp
give me a lot of
counselor.
peace that you were there as well.
Yeah.
And
And I could kind of report back each day.
yeah, she had her own cabin with
I was in charge of
6th grade girls.
Yes, I was in charge of I think there was 12 of them.
Yeah. But it was just it gave me a lot of peace that you were there. So if something really happened that Derek
I do have a question. Your
Cabin.
cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Carly Magic and Amy Donaldson in your cabin?
I think you had Carly and Megan
I think I had Carly
and Megan Mudd.
Megan Mudd. I know Allie Eichmann was in there.
It's a long time ago. Honey.
It was. I was to say. I don't.
I do
know.
have
I'm
pictures
sure I
of
have
it.
a picture. I only remember. I don't remember why, but I only remember one distinct time where, because I'm pretty sure we had walkie-talkies, and all the counselors had the walkie-talkies, and I only remember one time where I got called over the walkie-talkie because Derek
needed
he needed some motherly encouragement. And I'm pretty sure it was some motherly encouragement to get off his butt and go do what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And I do think it was close to the last day. And now that I'm trying to talk about it, it's slowly coming back to me, but I'm not 100% certain I'm getting this story right. I think it was on one of the last days, and so he was a little tired. He was definitely missing home. It was certainly the longest he had probably ever been.
Oh, absolutely.
From home from you. And I think he had a long walk ahead of him, and he was not trying to take that walk.
Yeah, imagine that.
And I had to go and sit down, and he had a brief moment where he told me he was missing Mom, and I said, well, you're going to see her tomorrow. And then I said, and now it's time to get up and get on your feet and take a walk.
Yeah.
And he did it.
And you were there when I took my first horse ride.
Well, I wasn't with you when you took your first horse ride because we didn't spend a ton of time together at camp because I did have a whole cabin I was in charge of. But you had your own counselor. Who was his counselor? Was it Joe?
It may have been Joe. I don't
I think it
remember.
was Joe Shaughnessy. You had your own counselor who was in charge of you and your group of guys. And I was not with your cabin all the time because I had my own group of girls I was in charge of. But I was there and I got to see you at meals and I got to see you at different events and things like that. And I was also just, I think there was a couple of times where Joe might have sent me a text and said, "What do I do?" And I said, "Tell him this." And then there was at least one time where I had to leave my girls to come see you and just light a little fire under your butt because you were being the stubborn boy that we all know you to be.
We're not stubborn. We're headstrong.
Oh, right. Sorry, headstrong. God
But that
forbid.
was a big deal for me to let him go to camp. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
And I always erred to the side of, I trust that most everybody in the school system, I mean, they are looking out for these kids. They
Right.
wouldn't do what they do unless they loved kids. And you got to have a lot of crazy people around for somebody to get hurt, if you
Yeah.
will, or abused or whatever by the school system. So I always erred to the side of they're going to do the best they can. And, we always wanted Derek to have the same experiences as everybody else. So,
Yeah. And luckily we were at an age where I was applying to go to camp as a counselor regardless.
right.
And I do think when I went through the application process, you did get to say, like, do you have a preference of which team you want to go with? And I wanted to go with 6 Silver regardless because those were the teachers I had in
Right.
6th grade.
Right.
So it was like very perfect timing that I wanted to go with that group and they kind of wanted me there.
Right. It was good for Derek for you to be there. So that was exciting. I think, one of the other things that I remember very vividly about middle school.
So did I.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
What?
you go first.
Well, I was just saying one of the other things I very vividly remember from middle school, other than the bus came stupid early, was I could not run out of bananas. Like Derek took a banana for snack every day. Like he had a banana every single day during middle school because he got up so early and he did eat before he went, but he never ate. Like he was never like,
It was never like a
huge
sufficiently
meal,
big
right?
breakfast,
Because
right?
it was, we're trying to get out the door, and then he had lunch really early, and by the middle of the afternoon, like he needed some fuel, and so one of the things I never ran out of during middle school was bananas.
Oh yeah, Liza Magic. If you make breakfast late or something like that, I took initiative. Go outside, wait for the bus. Go on the bus, take me to the middle school. I always drink by the cafeteria.
Yeah, I'm
The-
sure
the
you
sh-
did. You probably got a second breakfast I didn't even know about.
No, it was the second, but it was the first.
I don't think that happened very often that you were sent out without any breakfast in your belly.
Trust me, you did serve me breakfast very, very late, and I decided to hop in a bus, go to school, and when I got there,
Maybe he told them he didn't have
Yeah,
breakfast so that
maybe.
he could get breakfast at school too.
when I got there, I got myself got something to eat, like biscuits and gravy, which is too that for. I get that plus I get fresh
Toast.
toast sticks. I do that all the time. And pancakes, gotta admit, pretty good. So, taking to school the middle school did take me with breakfast, lunch, maybe dinner.
You did not eat
I-
dinner
I-
in middle school.
But here's the funny part. I did not have dinner at middle school, so that's good news.
Yeah. But, it was
Breakfast and lunch, yes.
our philosophy was the same. We're going to dive in the deep end, do what we got to do to swim. Kim Brandon was the head principal at the time. She was lovely and, was a great partner to, do what we needed to do to meet his needs. Patty, Miss B, moved up from elementary to middle school with him. That was huge. She stayed with him through 8th grade, which was just awesome. And, overall, I mean, we started pulling him out of gen ed more so in middle school than we did elementary.
Sure.
I think the first class was math. It just
Mm-hmm.
didn't make sense to have him in, pre-algebra or, those kinds of things. And so he did math with the resource.
Is definitely my favorite subject.
Yep.
With science and maybe a little bit here and there for PE.
Yeah. So, but, overall it was, we were fortunate through our schooling years, if you will. I will say that the bus, there was kind of some little assholes on the bus sometimes.
Yep. That definitely started more
In
middle school and then high school.
But fortunately, Derek always had some friends on the bus that kind of
Stood up for him.
stuck up for him if he needed a little bit of help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all in all, it was a good experience. And,
Also, I said by Carly Mexico.
yeah, well, she was an angel, still is. So,
She's the best.
yeah, she always took up for
Little
you.
Fun fact: I did meet Manny Ahi in middle school.
Yep. I actually got a
Do-
text
do-
from his mom this morning because
Oh.
we're working on getting camp scheduled, and I
Oh,
wanted to make
good.
sure she knew when you were headed to summer camp this year. So hopefully Manny will be
that's
there
good.
too.
Well, that's good. Also, I met this awesome kid. His name was Josh Pricht.
Yep. He
He
was
was
a little
awesome.
younger than you.
He was definitely younger.
Did he ride the
Versus
bus with you
me?
though?
No,
Oh.
no. I think he probably went to Ross.
I think so.
Yeah, they didn't live near us, but
Oh.
he was a year or two younger, and so you met him in middle school, and then you were buddies in high school too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And also, I got my first girlfriend in Carly Magic.
Yeah. And Derek did all the things, right?
Self-proclaimed girlfriend.
Yeah, Derek did all the
Knock it
things.
off.
So, if there was a dance, they went to the dance. If there was, a field day, we went to field day. If there, whatever was going on,
Don't
we
forget-
participated.
Don't forget it. Talent show.
What I was going to say was realistically, you were always a performer. But I think you really started to blossom in middle school when you met Mr. Brown.
He was awesome.
And you started really going to choir.
Yeah, choir is definitely the best. Like
That's when your performance bug really took
Mr.
full
Brown
full
was
throttle.
an incredible teacher.
He was.
he was.
He made me cry a couple times, but that's okay.
Well, he had high standards.
He had very high standards.
said it.
He let you know when you
He
weren't meeting
told-
them.
No, I was doing it. Hit the high note. I'd be like, now you, Derek. I go again. Not you, Derek. Go. Not you. Not you. Stop. Okay, you're a good singer. I'd be like,
I'm sure you made him crazy, but he was awesome.
I made Mr. Brown crazy.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, but we had a good experience, and I just think the more involved you are with the school,
I love that, Derek. That's so funny. Not you, Derek.
Not you, Derek.
That's funny, bro. I don't know if I've ever heard that, but it
I
makes perfect sense.
I remember that all these years. Trust me. If Mr. Brown was the other student listening the baritone,
So Mr.
I
Brown would
think
sing the
Miss-
note, and he'd be asking a different student to sing, and then you'd pipe up.
Yes. I actually remember that.
That is so funny, bro. You were probably so annoying.
We're gonna talk about Mr. Brown was laughing his butt off.
Not you, Derek. That's funny.
Yeah. If Mr. Brown is part of this podcast, he will say about me. Trust me on that.
Oh, I believe it. I believe he'd had a lot to say about you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
Well,
we had 3 good years. We
got-
did
we got
change
good
our case manager every year. That was a little bit of a struggle. But, I mean, the second year we had Lindsay Forche, and we had her in 5th grade. So she already knew Derek. So that was great. And then in 8th grade, we had Allie Ornberg. And actually, I got a text from her
Oh, really?
at a Cardinals game last summer.
Oh.
And she's like,
Wow.
Derek is on the big screen. I'm like, yes, he is.
Yep, that's
Yeah. So, and she was very
Very
nice.
true.
But all overall, we had a great experience. And like I was saying, I think the more involved you are as a parent in the school system, whether you have a child with a disability or not, I think it only enhances your child's education. And
Do you think those IEP meetings got any easier, or were they just as hard?
they were I got numb to them. But they were.
Because I feel like the first one
They
I
were
remember
better.
sitting in on was at the middle school.
Well, no, I think you sat in on one that was like
at the end of middle
Yeah.
school for high school.
Well, no, I think the first time it was at the end of elementary for middle.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was
Yeah.
like,
Here's
I
a
distinctly
little fun
remember
fact about-
one IEP meeting at the middle school and one IEP meeting at the high school.
Yeah.
So it was probably both times for their
Here's
transition.
a little fun fact about me making friends. Well, one, I did met Manny Ahi in middle school. He was awesome, and
Great friend.
Manny Ahi Manny and I are good friends. That's good. Also, Josh Pritt. I met Josh Pritt right after he and I started be friends. When I met Josh, he was amazing. He was a good friend. He does make me laugh all the time. But Josh and Manny are perfect friends. I can't wait to see Manny in camp. Like, if Camp Runnerland counselors need some help, I always be there to help out with Manny Ahi at Camp Runnerland. So,
So was middle school where the bus situation
Yeah, I was just going to
happened?
say the one thing that, and this wasn't any of Derek's direct teachers necessarily, but that during that, so this is middle school, that was when they put Derek on the wrong bus because they didn't bother to ask Derek, where'd you go to elementary school for 6 years? Like he wouldn't have been able to tell him. So I know we talked about this before,
Yeah.
but the middle school, the special education teacher and the special education assistant were at odds about where he was supposed to go back to after this summer school program.
Right.
The paperwork said McKelvey, and the assistant was saying, it says McKelvey, he's supposed to go to McKelvey. And the teacher's like, I know that kid went to Craig, and sent him to Craig. And neither one of them said, Derek, where'd you go to elementary school? So that was a little disappointing on, because he certainly would have been able to tell him where the heck he went to elementary school for 6 years.
that was a complete shock
yeah.
when I was
Derek gets out at Craig. He's
Craig.
like, I've never seen this place before.
Well, he had
I'm
been
just
he
kidding.
had been there for summer school the previous
Right.
year. But that's just because that's where the location was, not because that's where his homeschool was,
Right.
because they moved it around from school to school in elementary. But, I mean,
It
I
was my
had
Kelly
some
dog.
words with people and said, why didn't you ask him? Duh. So don't underestimate
The student.
the student who has a disability. Ask them the question.
Right.
But beyond that, I mean, then that was just, the summer prior. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And Derek learned and grew and made very good friends. And then we got transitioned to high school and I was scared to death again.
Yeah, well, that's a conversation for another day.
Well, that conversation we were doing left on.
How did Derek transition with the block classes? Or I guess it wasn't block
It wasn't
classes
block
in middle
classes,
school
it
class
was
in
just-
middle school, but
But
like
but you
the
were
transition from class
yeah.
to class.
Well, he was
I
much more
think
followed,
I have a chart with me, like,
telling you where to go.
tell me where to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in the
that's
beginning-
really help.
You know, Derek, that would have been helpful for me too, but they didn't give me a chart.
Yeah. In the beginning, Patty, Miss B, walked with him from class to class to class. By the time he was in 8th grade, he was doing some of the transitions on his own, and she had other responsibilities, But in the beginning, she walked him from class A to class B and then class B to class C.
Yeah.
But by the end of his middle school time, he was, if it was gym time, he went to gym. He knew where to find a gym, So it was all a matter. It's all a process of being, growing and being trusted to be out in the halls without supervision and knowing that you're going to do the right thing. And, by the end of his tenure there, he was pretty much transitioning from class to class by himself.
I did great for that,
Absolutely.
for sure. And here's another fun fact.
Another fun fact.
Carly and I, like, every time when the bus shows up to my
House.
to my house, when I get on the bus, I go straight to Carly music.
Yeah, because she lived just down the street.
But she'd get picked up first.
Yeah, and they were often on the same bus route, which was nice.
And Carly did stick up to me, and she said, and I quote, "That's my boyfriend."
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
about that.
I don't believe
Maybe
that.
that's my friend.
No.
Okay.
She
Okay.
said, "That's my boyfriend."
Okay.
I bet you and Carly remember two different stories.
Okay. Anyway.
But she definitely stood up for you on the bus when there was a few incidences that other kids were not treating you great. And she said, "That's my friend. Don't treat him like that."
No, she said, "That's my boyfriend."
Okay.
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 You don't believe me? Ask her.
All
Okay.
right, well.
Well, Carly, if you're watching this, comment below. All right.
She did say that.
Are we
All right,
ready to
okay.
wrap this up?
Yeah. Do you have anything else to share from your middle school years? Any more stories like Mr. Brown? That's hilarious.
Well, me and Mr. Brown are tight.
Yep. He was
Sure.
awesome.
Not you, Derek. That is so funny. I buy it. We got to tell Phil that.
He'll love that.
Phil loved Mr. Brown too.
Well, right now we're going to take a break right now.
How about we wrap up and then we'll restart?
We're going to...
But you can just say something by yourself. You don't have to have Jake on a mic. Jake doesn't want to be on a mic. So if you have something to say that you need Mom and I to walk away for, we'll say goodbye, and then you can say what you need to say.
Go ahead, say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
Peace out. I got to go to the bathroom anyway.
Thanks so much for listening. Derek has something to say that's really scary. We'll see if it actually gets to stay in the episode or not.
It's just going to be me and Jake.
He's giving
to
Jake the
talk.
side eye. All right, catch us next time, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Find us on all the platforms at Baker Banter. Make sure to follow Derek on Snapchat at Baker Banter. And we'll talk to you soon. And hopefully Derek doesn't throw us too far under the bus.
Go Chiefs.
Go Sheep.